She mentioned, for example, that some of the first, I guess, Jewish migrants in the U.S. were of Hispanic origin. So I wanted to ask you, what else is there? What other connections are there between Jewish and Hispanic?
Well, I think if you were to come to the museum and see the story we tell, you would see lots of connections. I think that there are lots of similarities in the cultures. Focus on the importance of family, focus on the importance of achieving the kinds of freedoms that brought people to this country. Religious freedom, freedom to pursue one's profession, freedom to live in whatever neighborhood one wants to live in. There are a lot of similarities in terms of the aspirations, the goals. Frankly, there's similarities in terms of the struggles. You know, when Jews first came to this continent, and later it became the country that it is, there were actually lots of forms of exclusion and discrimination, including the fact that Jews were initially actually prohibited from holding public office. I think a lot of these forms of discrimination and exclusion affected Latin Americans, Hispanic Americans, and frankly other ethnic groups as well. One of the things I think that resonate most powerfully with other immigrant ethnic groups when they come to our museum is just how many of those things we have in common.
We've got CEOs from other museums, and we always ask them what are the hidden treasures of their museum. Again, going through the text of Adriana, I know they have a Bible of this Gomez family. They go from the 16th century, something like that. So what else is there? What other hidden secrets do you have for?
Well, there's so many. Let me say that our core exhibition is 25,000 square feet. It occupies 3 floors of space, 3.5 floors of space, really. We have on display 1,200 original artifacts. Every artifact tells a story. We have a Torah, which is 5 books of Moses, the Hebrew Bible. We have the Torah from 1700s from Savannah, Georgia, from a congregation that had the Torah and that provided it to us to show at our museum. We have amazing artifacts in a gallery that we call Only in America, which is a gallery that tells specifically through the stories of 18 individual American Jews what kinds of things can be accomplished when you're given freedom. Our museum mostly is about that. The overarching story we tell is about the encounter with freedom, what can be achieved when you give a people freedom. And in the Only in America gallery, we tell the stories of 18 individuals whose achievements literally changed the world. So the artifacts, the hidden treasures, as you say, that relate to those individuals are very exciting. We do an awful lot to promote not just our museum, but also the city of Philadelphia, because in our case, being a national destination museum that happens to be located here, we have visitors coming to see our museum, but once they're here, even if they've come specifically to see us, there's so much more to see. Of course, that's terrific for the city, because if they come to see us and they end up staying over a day or two, that means they're spending time here, they're spending money here, they're seeing other attractions. So we spend a lot of our time and effort working on that kind of promotion. It's very important to us, and we think it's important to the city of Philadelphia.
What do you consider to be the Jewish perspective on immigration?
Well, this sort of follows on your previous question. I would be very hesitant to describe a particular point of view or perspective that I would feel comfortable calling the Jewish perspective on immigration. I will say this, however. I think Jews as a people in this country are particularly sensitive to the importance of immigration and the way that immigrants have enriched this nation. We are a nation of immigrants, after all. Jews in particular, especially following World War II and the calamitous events of the Holocaust, really understand what it means to come to a land of freedom and opportunity. And they also understand the other side of that coin, which is, as I said earlier, if you do give a people freedom, and they are people of creativity and intelligence and talent, they accomplish not simply for themselves, but they are enabled to make major contributions to the society that so empowers them. I think the story of Jews and the story of Latinos and the story of other immigrant ethnic groups in this country is exactly that. You look at the kinds of contributions that some of these immigrant ethnic groups have been able to make, and I think it leads you to understand the importance of supporting a sensible immigration policy that allows this country to remain strong and to continue to strengthen itself in the ways we have historically. I'll tell you that on a personal level, it concerns me a great deal when I read some of the more xenophobic things that one sees, and some of these views that suggest that we need to, raise the ladder and close the door and bring down the curtain. This country has been made strong through immigration. So, again, I don't think I would venture to describe a perspective, a Jewish perspective, but I'll tell you that in general, Jews appreciate the importance of the immigrant experience and the importance of continuing to facilitate that experience in this country.